I'm early. See how long it takes for people to notice I'm early. Close. Just send in the Discord. Someone's here. Who's here? Say hi in the chat. I'm a couple minutes early. I wanted to try a few settings to see how things are working. Oh, people are rolling in. Okay. How you doing, Ryan's Arachnids, Ben Williams, Troy McDrains, Chris Marino, Dunkle Easy, Amy Rogers. How you guys doing? Yeah, we're a little early. I'm just kind of setting things up. Son of Gotham, Batman fan, Nordstradamus, Spider King. No, you're too kind. Also, look what we have in the background. That's pretty cool. You guys help with that. How's everybody? English, Spencer. How's everybody's New Year's going? Boing. Supreme Ghost, because you gave us a good content to watch. Hey, you guys earned it. Like, I just like making videos. You guys, all the feedback I get helps me make better videos. Like the comments, just even like the analytics and stuff. Like you guys don't usually see the back end, but like, you know, the analytics help me make better videos. So you guys, like everything you do helps me do this better, even if you don't even realize you're doing it. So pretty cool. You guys, I'm doing great. We actually were out playing soccer. I worked till about 3 today, getting a script written for a video for this month that I think you guys are going to enjoy quite a bit. CDs, there he is. I was hoping you'd show up today. CDs and I go way back. He's been bullying me to get the Carolina Wolf Spider for forever. I finally got one. Let's see who else is here. Drewish AF. They are adorable furry crabs, though, or like 8-legged miniature cats. But furry crabs, that's a. I'm gonna use that from now on. I'll give you credit. Whenever I use that in a video, I'll shout you out for that. Love from the Netherlands. Yeah, best wishes for you as well. Those of you who were here early, why don't you guys shoot some of your New Year's resolutions to the chat? What are we all doing for 2024? Ants and spiders. Oh, okay, yeah, you guys. Florida's got some awesome stuff. Like, I love North Carolina. My family's here. My roots are here. But like, if I didn't live in North Carolina, Florida would be a great place to be. Optimal Mario, hello from Mexico. ¿Cómo estás? Feliz año nuevo. 365 Jive. Greetings from Florida. Everyone's from Florida. You guys are lucky. You got awesome wildlife down there. Attila, how you doing? I'll tell my dad you said hello. And there's Prisma. I knew Prisma would show up eventually. Bolto. There's a lot of lore. So those of you who are newer or like aren't as like active in the comments, like there's some lore with Bolto and Prisma, and they're always like there's like just like little lore things and fun stuff. Hop over to the Discord. There's actually a link in the description for the Discord. Hop over there. You'll get in on some of the lore. It's fun stuff. Caceres apps. I have a pet praying mantis named Kiwi. Wasn't the mantis from that one channel Please Be? I think didn't they name their mantis Kiwi? Am I wrong? I think that was the name they used. Tristan Davies. Would I do the bullet ant ritual? Maybe. Probably. I don't particularly want to. So for those of you who don't know, the bullet ant ritual. So first of all, those of you who don't know, a bullet ant is one of the insects that has one of the most painful stings in the world, supposedly. From what I've heard, I haven't taken this sting myself. From what I've heard, it's not fun, but not the worst. But they are highly toxic. So like almost on par with Fertilance Venom toxic. Um, I don't know that I want to stick my hand into a glove full of bullet ants. That doesn't sound like a very good time to me. There he is, Valiant Warrior. Hello there. Clyde Long, hello from Mississippi. We got people from everywhere in here. San Antonio, Koi Girl from San Antonio. We got Montana. I saw a bunch of Florida. Nick, okay, I knew questions about the Red Widow would come up in this one. Hold that question for later or hang out. Like as I get more questions and more people roll in, I'll address the Red Widow stuff because that's a whole thing to unpack. Um, Short answer, no symptoms, but that like there's definitely like lore there, so that's interesting. To UK, Mako, Liverpool, UK. I'm actually a Liverpool fan club. Hold on. My brother got me this for Christmas. So Mako from Liverpool. I think you know that name. Our boy. Raven X Soul, also from England. Indiana. Carlos Pal, Dobrovsky. Wales, UK. Wow, everybody's from everywhere. Jeez. Gracie, Crystals, and Resin Lady, Happy New Year to you as well. Arizona. I'm trying to go back there in March. My hunting license is still valid, so I can legally go look for reptiles and other things for like 8 more months. So I'm hoping to use it again because I missed out on a couple of targets while I was there. Everyone wants to see the Jerusalem cricket. I couldn't find any when I was there, so I'm gonna try that again. I need an adult Mojave rattlesnake. I also need both of the centipedes. I didn't see any scolopendra while I was down there. So LA, Los Angeles or Louisiana? Yep. I'll bring that down. You guys can look at it in a second. Ecuador. I might be going back to Ecuador next year. It's already next year. This year. Either southern coastal Ecuador or northern coastal Peru. Any guesses what I might be getting down there? This is some trivia. But if you know what I'm looking for down there, it's a very exciting thing to be looking for down there. Ryan's I thought you said easy. Okay, Arizona black rattlesnakes are evil hard to find, first of all. We tried to find them when we were there back in August. We had reliable spots too, and nothing. We caught a lot of atrox and a lot of millipedes and nothing else. So Arizona black rattlesnakes are hard. Ukulele Bobby. I can't speak today. If I mess up my words, that's just how it is. I have to do so much editing to the videos, like because I just mess up my freaking speech all the time. So disregard if I just stumble over my words. Alabama. What's the YouTube plaque you have? This one. So this is the Silver Creator Award. They give it to you for 100,000 subscribers. We got this back in September, and that was super, super exciting. All right, see you later, Jewish AF. Nutter UK. A lot of people from across the pond today. Awesome. Yeah, that's the plaque. This is probably one of my most valuable possessions, and I cannot thank you guys enough for helping make this possible. I'm gonna hang it back up so I don't lose it. Oh. Okay. Oh, Prisma. No, it's not cringy to say that. It was a when I first unboxed it, it's like very surreal, you know. I had peaked before I made that video. Yeah, so okay, so William Jimenez. So I may be trying to make my way down to Sydney this year as well, if budget allows. So I've got a lot of things I'm doing this year, a lot of projects I'm launching that are hopefully going to fund that. And I found a kind of a cheaper way to do it. Oh, there he is, Travis. Travis is in the chat. So those of you who don't know Travis, Travis is another wildlife educator, and he does some fantastic, I mean fantastic spider videos. Like when I was first starting, I was doing like the bugs in your backyard type stuff. And that was like, okay, my thought, like, you don't have to go very far to have a wildlife adventure. He doesn't go even as far as to his backyard. He finds his spiders in his house and he makes baller videos. So if you don't already know Travis, check him out. You will not be disappointed. Kasuri's apps, what is your favorite area to bug hunt in? Honestly, my backyard. But besides that, like, unless I'm just really busy, if one of my buddies is like, hey, let's go to Florida for a weekend and look for bugs, like, Florida's pretty good. There's lots of stuff down there. Arizona is harder to get to financially. I can drive to Florida. But Arizona is also very fun to hunt for bugs in. Valiant Warrior, yep, there's the lore is beginning. There's Ichthyovenator. So I've actually made him a mod as part of a little thing. So Ichthyovenator actually won our Discord December art challenge. He is a great artist, did an oil pastel piece with like a bunch of dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures at Christmas. It was fantastic. And those of you, if you don't know about the December art challenge, is because you're not in the Discord. So go in the description and fix that, because Discord's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun people. Okay, pencil crayons. My bad. Looked like oil pastel, and you were saying about the wax bloom, so I assumed. But okay, I stand corrected, but still did really well. And yeah, the Discord's a lot of fun. Valiant Warrior is in there. Valiant is one of our top performers in the games. We have a couple of different like games that people play, and he's one of our top players over on Metazoa. Him and Eric. I don't know if Eric's here yet. He might pop in, but they have a little rivalry. It's fun stuff. You guys should pop over. And I'm always in there, so I'm like chronically on my phone. It's like this is what I do my business on. So I saw a question earlier. What was the scariest thing you free handled? Who asked that? I saw. Oh, there it is. Matrix. Scariest spider I have free handled was the Brazilian wandering spider in Ecuador. That could have ended my career, or at least been really bad. So, Dino Pone, how you doing, bud? Optimal Mario, would you do a video about the ravine trapdoor spider? I want to do a lot of trapdoor spider videos, but I can never seem to find any of them. They're really difficult to get a hold of. So whenever I do find a trapdoor, I will be sure to film it, and I'll be thinking of you when I do that. Attila says, Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, I know it's been tough. So those of you who don't know, my mom is actually going through a hard time. Her dog is very, very sick. Cancer. Like, she's older. It just kind of happens, and there's not really anything we can do. So send some love in the chat for my mom and for her dog Sandy. It's a tough start to the year, but that is one of the hard things. Yep. Someone says, hi, I'm Zane. Great to meet you, Zane. Is it possible to handle a proper big funnel web? I don't know. I don't know. I would assume because they are animals and animals have predictable patterns of behavior, I would imagine that there would be a way to calm a funnel web spider down to make it safe to handle. That may not be possible with all individuals, but if it is possible to free handle a funnel web spider, I will try and free handle it. If it is not possible, I'm not going to attempt it. Yeah. So we'll see. We will see. Peekaboo says, hi Spencer, your thoughts on crocodiles? They're awesome. It's just illegal to work with them where I live. And any crocodilians, alligators, crocodiles, all of the native crocodilians in the US are illegal to work with. So unless I want to be a bad influence, I can't work with them until I have permits, and permits are hard to get. So I have to network to find people who have permits and work with them. And it's a lot of stuff. So I'm working on getting those. Eventually, I will. Dinopone asks, "How was your Christmas holiday?" Christmas was great. Thank you. Hope yours was great. Just low key with family. Dinner, some good desserts, some fun games. Yeah, I don't usually rest, but I take Christmas off because I just think it's the right thing to do. But of course, I get stir crazy then, so now I'm live streaming. That's how it goes. Yeah, my mom's tough. She'll be okay, but it's just one of those things. Like it's just like it's such a horrible situation, and I just try to be there for her as much as I can. Um, Prisma said, "I feel it would be like handling a more defensive tarantula." I would expect that it would be similar to a purse web, yeah, maybe like a bigger, meaner purse web. And I've free handled purse webs, so I would imagine again, I would assume there's a way to safely do it, but you got to be very careful. Shadu, yes, yeah, the red widow bite. That's one of the things I want to talk. Oh, the stink bugs are back. We get these brown marmorated stink bugs, and they come in here and they're really annoying, and sometimes they fly and land on my head. Um, yes. So the red widow bite, like, I was not joking when I said that kind of messed me up. Like, I have handled a lot of spiders, probably, if not 100, dozens of widow spiders. I even saw a black widow today and was kind of teaching some kids about it when we were on like break. My brother and my brother, my sister, and my sister's boyfriend and I, we all went to play soccer with my brother's boss's kids, and we were like, at some point, were flipping over like boats and stuff. Like they have like those like kayaks and things by their lake, and there's a big black widow under there, and it's like, yeah, black widows, like, um, they're not mean, but that one red widow just messed me up. So I don't know what happened. Um, Reptiles rule. Hi, I'm Nathan. Do I keep any inverts as pets? I have a couple of black widows. I have a western and a southern. I have a Carolina wolf spider, and that's it. No. I have a regal jumping. I keep forgetting about her because I've had her for forever, and she's like doing great. Where are you at today? Are you hiding? Yep, there she is. So you can see her on her stick right there. That's my regal jumper, and I've had her for almost a little over a year now. I have a Carolina wolf spider who is in a temporary container right now because I have to clean her cage, and two black widows. I don't keep any reptiles. Honestly, I'm just so busy. Like, reptiles are just too much work right now, and I wouldn't be able to be a good pet owner for reptiles. Let's see. Someone asked, who was it who asked about the Aussie spiders? Who said it? I saw the question. See you later, Attila. No, Prisma, I did not see. No, one of my Carolinas died. The one from Arizona died, unfortunately. I'm not sure what happened. It may have been a temperature thing. It may have just been like, once the spiders get to that max size, I have no idea of telling how old they are. And wolf spiders only live like 4 years in general. So it may have just been old. So I've got her preserved now. That was so unfortunate though, because she just like started slowing down, and I'm like, I just fed you. Like, why are you slowing down? But she didn't do too well. To finish answering your questions, Nathan, what's my opinion on keeping reptiles and spiders in captivity? I would say captive bred, no harm, no foul. If you're taking from the wild, you need to have a really good reason to it. Like if you're breeding them from the wild and you're making money off of it, I feel like that's a little like, if it's not a rare species, it's like fine, but like it's not my favorite thing to do. I only keep stuff from the wild if I'm planning on using it as an educational animal. So when I go to like classrooms and stuff and visit, like I'll pull them out and handle them and show, that they're not mean. And like in that case, having it be a wild spider and not a captive bred one is important to show that they're not mean, they're not evil. But other than that, like, mm-mm. Matrix, would you do more content on other creepy crawlies? Absolutely. The video I'm working on that I was scripting today is actually about an insect that I haven't filmed very much of before. No, but yeah, Prisma, if you could ask your question again. I didn't see it. Let's see. Somebody asked if I would move out of North Carolina, or was it Jordan Berwick? I don't I don't I don't think I would leave, at least not permanently. Um I don't think I would leave North Carolina, at least not permanently. If I did, I could see myself doing like a year abroad, like a digital nomad type thing, like go to like Australia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand for a little bit, and like like just like bulk content for a little bit. But I wouldn't like North Carolina. Just it's starting to become like a creator hub. Like I ran into freaking Matt Pat from Game Theory at a random pizza joint that I would go to like all the time in high school. So like Mr. Beast is here, Matt Pat is at least here sometimes. I know Daryl Eves, who's a big content strategy guy, he's here sometimes. Like there's enough big YouTube industry here now that I think it's probably a good place to be. CDs was it was the Arizona one that died. Yes, she died. Shadu, oh, thank you so much, man. We may not have deadly fauna, but some really pretty invertebrates. Dude, I'm actually trying. So my brother keeps going to UK for vacation. We're trying to do a little Europe thing. We're not sure how it'll work yet, but I want to get to Europe. I know I have a couple viewers who want to bring me to the south of France to see some cool wildlife. I'd probably figure out some kind of trip to do. I don't know if it'll happen this year, but in the near future, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Premium Shay, can you safely handle a six-eyed sand spider? I think so. If they act like brown recluses, I would imagine they're probably fairly safe to handle. The reason that I'm very iffy about handling one is because they are extremely dangerous. And in the case that I have a Red Widow incident, where even though it's a safe spider, behaviorally, I get the one that decides to be mean. It's not like the Red Widow where I'm just like I suck. It just sucks for like 12 hours. A six-eyed sand spider, a full wet bite, like not a dry bite, that's curtains. I'm done. like, there's no, you don't survive that. So, um, Peekaboo, what would you say is more dangerous, the six-eyed sand spider or the Sydney funnel web? That's a fantastic question. That's actually a great question because I want to cover that in a video more in depth once I've filmed funnel webs and sand spiders and probably some more B-roll on wandering spiders. So once I have that, I want to better address that question. But essentially, if you are bitten, the sand spider. Sydney funnel web is very easy to treat. They have anti-venom. They can get you treated like that. But the sand spider, there's no anti-venom. There's no treatment. If you're bitten, you're done. So I would say that the bite is more dangerous from the six-eyed sand spider, but you're more likely to be bitten by the funnel web, if that makes sense. Zane asks, can you keep web weavers as a pet? Absolutely. I've kept a few web weavers back in the day. Let's see. Will the wolf spider venom harm my pets? No. So Clyde Long, to answer your question, no. Wolf spiders are basically harmless unless you're like 2 inches tall. So if your pets are a gerbil, like a miniature gerbil, maybe. But a cat won't have a lethal reaction from a wolf spider bite. Let's see. Oh, William, you remember that? Yep, my sisters. They're around somewhere. If they pop in, I'll have them come say hi. I think Zoe. Zoe's the one who came up with "Can I Catch It?" I think she's down the hall right now with her dog, just chilling. And then Max, I have no idea where Max is. Oh, okay. So Prisma asked, which Aussie spiders I want to be able to see in film? Lichen huntsman for sure. Portia spiders, peacock spiders, funnel webs, and redbacks are my main target. Any of the giant huntsmans, of course, are totally welcome because those guys are awesome. Like puppy dogs. Like I would consider doing another like this spider will cure your arachnophobia with one of those giant huntsman spiders. Maybe even with Jackson from Bugs and Biology. He might hop on. He may or may not hop on. We'll see. Matrix wants to know what's my favorite snake. Probably the spider-tailed viper. That's a pretty cool one. Besides spider-tailed viper, maybe golden lancehead. I'm kind of a shiny hunter, so things like that are pretty cool. Yoda Soda's here. Nick says, I would suggest chatting with the owners that own six-eyed sand spider before attempting. Yeah, that was my plan. I know that Jack from Jacksonville Wildlife actually gave himself like a birthday present, I think it was. I forget what he bought it for, but he has a couple of Sicarius now as pets, so I might ask him. Emilio is here. Okay, more than likely, I will handle a Sicarius if it is a chill spider. I would like to be able to say that I safely handled Sicarius. I would like to be able to say that. But again, we're going to have to read the situation just to make sure. Be safe, because I don't want to die. not before I've finished a lot of things I want to do. CD's asked, am I still going to make documentaries on ecosystems? Absolutely. I'm working on a couple of those. Not as we speak, because I'm on a live stream right now, but I am working on a few of more of the Secret Worlds documentaries. I want to bring those back. Troy Roberts, sand spider versus Brazilian wandering spider bite. Sand spider is the worst. Brazilian wandering spider is more toxic drop for drop, but it's hard to measure a cytotoxin's toxicity. So because it just works different. Like a neurotoxin, it's easy to measure a lethal dose. Cytotoxin, you might get bit and it'll only give you a little tiny scar. You might get bit and it'll eat away your whole body. So it really depends on the activity levels. There's so much chemistry that goes into that I don't even fully understand. But a neurotoxin is easier to quantify. A cytotoxin is just more dangerous because it's harder to treat because it behaves so weird. Have I ever worked with bearded dragons? I have not, actually. The closest I have worked to a bearded dragon would probably be like a fence lizard because they look kind of like bearded dragons, but I've not. I've seen them at the pet store. That's about it. I haven't been in a place where I can work with them, no. Ash King says, hi, as I see wolf spiders as lamest and frightened spiders among others despite their abilities. Yeah, they usually try to flee for the most part. Mm-hmm. Oh, Shadu says, my mom keeps getting bitten by noble false widows in her sleep. Do you have the dead spiders? Like, do you know for sure it's the widow spiders that are biting? That's the first question. If you're bitten in your sleep, sometimes it's hard to tell if you even know what bit you. Otherwise, I have no idea because false widows aren't usually aggressive. Most spiders aren't going to seek you out to bite you in your sleep. So that's fishy. Prisma, if I went to Peru or Ecuador, would I film a Bushmaster? They are very hard to find. If I could find one, I would film it, but they are very, very hard to find. Reptile's rule. What place do you want to film stuff the most? A lot of places. So that's a hard question. Australia, I think, is a big one because there's a lot of just weird stuff. Weird answer. There are like lots of like microscopic things I want to film and lots of marine things I want to film. So, and a lot of those things, they don't live in specific places. Like certain jellyfish, certain weird marine invertebrates, of course, mantis shrimp, hydra, which are a microscopic relative of jellyfish that live in freshwater. Stuff like that. They're really neat. Tristan Davies, what's your take on Coyote Peterson and overreacting to stings? I know why he does it, because it gets clicks, it gets views, it makes his channel money, and like I think the big picture of what he does is good because he gets people excited about wildlife at scale, and I think that's important for conservation. I don't think he sends the best message about some invertebrates, but I know from people who know him that he's a good guy. So like I'll criticize him. I'll be a critic, but I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's doing anything for like bad reasons. I just think um I think there's a more of just a like doesn't know what he's doing that much. Let's see. Optimal Mario, can spiders run out of venom? Yes, they can. They don't have uh, venom, snakes, spiders, whatever. It's not an unlimited supply. It's like ammunition, right? If you're in a video game, you run out of ammo, you can't shoot anymore, right? Same thing with venom. With venom, like you only have so much venom, and you have to produce it yourself. So the reason they don't like to bite is because it's a waste of venom. That's venom they need for their food, and they need that food to be able to make more venom. So yes, they absolutely can run out of venom, and if they do that and they haven't eaten, they could die. It's a pretty serious thing. Let's see. What's my favorite species of scorpion? The Deathstalker. Any of the Deathstalkers, the whole genus. They're really awesome, really gnarly things. Um, Troy McDrains. I've never heard of the sand spider. Yes, Brazilian wandering spider and Sydney funnelweb are much more mainstream because they're seen and encountered more often. Lots of bites every year. Sand spiders are hard to treat because they're so rare that they rarely ever bite people. So the reason they're so dangerous is they have a close cousin, the Chilean recluse. And the Chilean recluse has a mortality rate of like 18%. Um, it's assumed, again, this is like speculative, like I don't have like numbers here. It's assumed that the six-eyed sand spider is more potent than the Chilean recluse. So it's assumed that the mortality rate would be higher than the Chilean recluse. However, bites happen so infrequently, they don't really have a good system on how to treat it. So you're just kind of done if you get bitten by a sand spider. Let's see. Samuel Dodson, how'd you get into this hobby and get all this knowledge? Newer to your channel, so might be if this is already. Hey, whether you're new or whether you've been here for like 4 or 5 years, I'm glad to have you here. Great question. So I actually got into bugs. I don't know. My earliest memory is me poking around and catching big grasshoppers in my backyard in Illinois when I lived there. Um, so I don't know how I got into it. I know watching Steve Irwin as a kid fostered that flame. But I was already kind of interested in this kind of stuff. Like it wasn't new. And then making it like from like something I did on the side to a main thing kind of happened as a result of college kind of burning me out. I just couldn't. I was a pre-med student. I couldn't do it anymore. I finished my degree, so I'm a biologist, but I realized that my calling was more in entomology and herpetology. And I realized that I was already kind of doing like videos on the side more as like a portfolio because I was at the time I was a freelance graphic designer and a freelance video editor. And in 2020, when the world shut down, people liked the videos, and I'm like, well, like the world's shut down. Let me try and see if I can make this thing work. And so I kind of just synthesized a ton of information about how to grow a YouTube channel. And I'm like, well, let's just like put it to the test and like just go really hard this year. And that push, another big push in 2022, pretty much got us to where we are. I've been full time since July of 22, so it's pretty crazy. Let's see. Jack Small, what is one insect or spider you would never handle? I mean, never say never. Um, I am very nervous about Sydney funnelwebs and six-eyed sand spiders, though I think it would be possible in the right circumstances. Insects. See, as I said, never say never. Like, there's always going to be exceptions of the ones that think that they're like that they're evil or like aggressive. There's always going to be like spiders that are going to be handleable individuals. So the whole species might not be the best temperament, but there's going to be chill individuals of the species. So I would say never say never. It's going to come down to the individuals. Um, the one myriapod I would probably never handle is the Vietnamese giant centipede, Scolopendra dehanii. Those guys have a horrific bite. Probably not lethal, but horrific. And it would just be so bad. I don't think I would want to risk it personally. Smets in the chat. Can you find an adult Mojave? I hope I can. I'm looking at you, Rob. I hope I can find an adult Mojave. I hope I can find one. What you up to in March? Ash King, I don't think he feels the amount of pain that he says he feels. I'm sure he feels pain when he gets stung by stuff, but I don't think it's as much pain as he makes it out to be, because I know many people who've been stung by the same things he's been stung by and kind of just walked it off with very little reaction. And some of those people don't happen to have the highest pain tolerance either. So I don't know. I raise both eyebrows at that. So reptiles rule. Yes. So six-eyed sand spiders. There's a bunch of them in South America and a bunch of them in South Africa. Hexophthalma. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is in Africa, and Sicarius is in South America. Both are very dangerous. Thank you, Prisma. Yes. What is the heaviest spider I've ever handled? Probably the coastal bird eater in Ecuador. It was in the same genus as the purple bloom. That thing was huge. Like that thing was like so like people will say, "Oh, that's not a big spider," because they see it in my hand. My hand is kind of big. So for reference, I can palm a basketball. Let me see if I have any good like props that I can show you. I mean, I don't have any good props here. I mean, here's a mug, right? Like that's my hand compared to a mug. Like that was a big spider for it to be almost the size of my hand. They're monstrous. Tristan Davies, where I have not been to Europe actually. I haven't been to Europe at all. My first, besides Canada, my first out of the U.S. My first time out of the U.S. was Ecuador. RC driven. I would like to see more spiders that people don't know exist. Me too. And I'm working on filming lots of those. I've already filmed a couple that most people haven't heard of, and I'm working on figuring out where they fit in videos for this year. I'm actually working on kind of some restructuring of the content styles. It's going to be good. Don't worry. I'm not going to like make it crazy, but I want to showcase more of these kinds of weird, crazy spiders that people haven't heard of. But I want to do it in a way that's better than I have been. If that makes sense. Reptiles rule. Would you handle Scolopendra gigantea? Absolutely. In fact, a lot of those large South American centipedes, from what I've seen through people who like people who, number one, don't know what they're doing. Number two, people who do know what they're doing and handle these things. I think a lot of the South American large centipedes are not too bad. I think both Scolopendra gigantea and Galapagoensis, if I can get it on the mainland where it's actually legal to handle them, because on the Galapagos it's illegal to touch everything, but on the coast it's fine. So if I can get a Scolopendra Galapagoensis or a gigantea, I think they're both handleable. Huge, scary centipedes, but handleable. Bullets, you made it. Hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you in a while. You doing okay? Happy New Year, man. Like, glad to see you. Glad to see you here. That's good. John Jagman, how bad is the venom on a Florida bark scorpion or Arizona blue centipede? Arizona blue centipede, it'll hurt, but it'll be fine. Arizona bark or a Florida bark scorpion? Oh, Florida bark scorpion, it'll hurt. Paper wasp, maybe some like localized aches, but most Centroroides, that's the gene bark scorpions from. Most Centroroides are but not dangerous. Only Centroroides sculpturatus, the Arizona bark, is particularly dangerous. And again, none of the arachnids in the US are anything that I would say are life-threatening in 99% of cases. Like, if you feel comfortable, again, I'm not a medical professional, so I don't want to get sued by saying this, so nobody sue me, please. But if if you're bitten or stung by any of these arachnids in the US, you can go to your primary care doctor, but there's no reason to go to the ER or the hospital. Like, you'll be fine. Um, let's see. Would I ever build a spider sanctuary? Maybe. Jack and I are talking about eventually potentially collaborating on a facility one day, and um, spiders and reptiles will probably be big focus. At least for my portion of it. I don't know. I can't speak to everything that he would want to be doing in there. Brian B, my daughter has always been terrified of spiders. Due to your video, we now both consider them friends. Awesome. High five. Internet high five. I'm first of all, I'm glad to hear that. It's like, it means a lot to be able to help people to see that, because I wasn't always the biggest fan of spiders myself. But you were the ones who actually got yourself to that conclusion. Like, I may have helped along the way, but like, you guys made the decision, like, hey, we're going to see these spiders as friends. And, I'm proud of you for doing that. That's big. Let's see. Would you rather get A, bitten or stung by something, or B, eat a little nitro gummy? What's a little nitro gummy? Probably a nitro gummy, but I don't know what that is. So don't cancel me if it's the wrong thing to say. Oh, image froze? Probably my Wi-Fi. Sorry. Who is it frozen for everyone? Or is it working now? My Wi-Fi says it's working. Okay, so I'm guessing that nitro gummy is something that is okay. Good. Yeah, making sure it's good. I'm guessing nitro gummy is not a good thing. So maybe I'll just get bitten or stung by something. I'm suspicious. I don't know. I don't like getting bitten or stung by things, but bullets. Yeah, life does get in the way. But it's good to know that you're doing well. Hey, Skeeter's here. Happy New Year. I only just now saw, because you're like squeezed between two large comments and the things are moving fast. So I saw your comment. Happy New Year, man. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Very spicy gummy bear. Yes, Ichthyovenator, if you get me to say fun stuff, the meme competition will be much easier. But I'm also not trying to get canceled before I hit 1 million subscribers. I'm also not trying to get canceled after 1 million subscribers. I'd rather not get canceled. But like, let me not get canceled, okay? It's fine. Bingus, will you ever do an episode on Pisorina Mira? Probably. Persa, or not Persubs. That's nursery web spider. See, again, that's my brain. It says it right in here. My mouth says the wrong thing. I don't know what the deal with that is, but yes. I will make a video on a nursery web spider. I'm working on that. Lots of stuff for this year. Stay tuned. I have some really cool series that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. Everyone's been asking about like guides to spiders and spider tier lists and stuff like that. I'm not going to spoil anything, but maybe those will make an appearance this year. Maybe we'll see. Who knows? It's a hot. Oh, I like spicy. Spicy's good. I mean, if it's super spicy, it might suck. But yeah, I'll retract it. I would rather do a nitro gummy than a bite or sting. 9 million Scoville. It would probably suck, but you know what? It might be funny for content. Who knows? Snow Mexico. Hey, what's your favorite wasp? Favorite wasp? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, it's weird. Someone in the chat might know the name. They're these odd little parasitic wasps that look stupid. They're like probably like you have to look at the microscope to see them. They're tiny wasps, but they look like a little like bulbous head. Oh, what is the name of that wasp? Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can look it up. Weird small. So if someone might, I'm gonna look it up because this is a weird thing. Weird small parasitic wasp. I can't remember the name of it, and it's annoying me. It's not Ormirus. I found it on Reddit one time, like r/insects. Somebody posted a photo of it. Oh, what is the thing? Images. Let's find images. It's not that one. Small round. Anybody know what it is? Megaphragma. No, it was a short name. Small, round, parasitic wasp. Like, I know this is annoying, but it's, what are the tiny little wasps? No, that's not it. It might be in, somebody will find it, but they're really weird. When I can figure out what the heck their name is, they're really weird. I'll post somewhere what it is. Yes, Jay. Well, I don't do marathons yet. I'm training for one this year. My first marathon this year. I'm more of a 5K, 10K guy. I'm really out of shape right now because injuries and overworking myself. But I want to get back to 5Ks and middle distance running this year, hopefully. Troy McDrains, you should have 1 million. I mean, I'm growing faster since the plaque. Yeah, it does take time on YouTube. I absolutely do believe we can hit 1 million subscribers on this channel. I think that is totally not out of the realm of possibility. But I don't know when we'll hit. My goal is like end of 2025, end of 2026, somewhere in that range. I think we can do it, but it takes time. It takes time. Tristan Davies, would you rather get stung by a box jellyfish or a blue ring octopus? I choose pass because both of those are death. Skeeter, are you planning on doing any more collabs? Absolutely. Travis and I have a collab coming this spring. Jack and I have a few videos that we've already filmed that are not posted yet, but are already filmed, and they're a lot of fun. I think you will enjoy all of those. And I'll probably go bug the twins, the Wildlife Brothers. I'll probably go bug them at some point. And Mikey and Emilio. All of the familiar faces will be showing up on the channel again this year. Have I been bitten by a wheel bug yet? No. But let's just say wheel bugs will be making an appearance soon. Those of you who are in the Discord, you know. No, they're not ichneumon wasps. They're like these tiny false fairy wasps. Maybe. Let me see. False fairy wasp. No, it's not those either. I think they're wingless. Wingless parasitic. If I can type parasitic wasp. Maybe it's that one? No, it's not that one either. Here it is. I found it. So it looks like that. That's my favorite wasp right there. What is the name? Bayus. Bayus is the name. That is my favorite wasp. They are so weird. I mean, look at that thing. That's a wasp. That's a wasp. I want one of those. They're cute. Let's see. Venom. Yes. I am doing an assassin bug Venom video. And let's just say there are some really cool things that we don't know about assassin bug Venom that I may have been able to find out in the video. Let's see. It does look like a beetle, yeah. Bullets for teeth. I'm so overworked myself. Yeah, I have days like that, but instead of my arms, it's my eyeballs because all of my work is screens. So like I'll have days where by 10 a.m. I have horrible eye strain headaches, and I'm like, crap, I have like this much more work to do. So I'm working on getting my eyes checked and fixing all that stuff because like I do love doing all of this. Ooh, Joanne Barna, will you compare a funnel web spider against the Vietnamese centipede? That is a good idea. I wasn't thinking about that before. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, look, I plan on doing this YouTube channel for a long time. Like as long as I possibly can. And everything that I'm working on is to keep this channel. Like I have other projects outside of this channel that I'm working on this year. And I want to really make sure that I can do this full time and do it for as long as I can. Like to answer your question, CDs, am I gonna make any more brain words? Am I going to make any more documentaries? Yes. I have probably my favorite documentary I've ever filmed, 2 of them coming out this month actually, and you're going to love them. You're going to love them. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Belly of 2, what pronouns do I prefer? He, him. And before we get mad about pronouns, I think it's actually the way I approach pronouns is, do you put the shopping cart away at the grocery store? Right? Obviously, like I'm not one of the part of the LGBTQ community, but I feel for them. I have people who I love who are part of that community. And the thing is, when you put the cart away at the grocery store, right? It's like 2 seconds, a little bit inconvenient, a little uncomfortable, but think of the value that that does. Somebody has to put that cart away. Somebody needs to use that parking lot to park there to get groceries. So the way that I approach the whole pronouns conversation is, I think it's important to respect that, because it doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but it could mean the world to somebody else. So that's why I try to keep a whole atmosphere of like positivity and respect on this channel, and I think that's important. Skeeter, you maverick. So Skeeter just tipped me $20. Thank you so much, Skeeter. Skeeter and I go way back. Like, he's been on the channel for years and always hang out in the comments. Man, thank you so much. Like, I'm gonna like make a Patreon just for you now, because you keep asking me about that. Like, I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Let's see. Prisma, you started with Zach, then me, and then Jack. Yeah, some people give Jack crap sometimes, but Jack does really, like, he's one of the most natural entertainers I've ever seen. Like, we always joke if we had like a conglomerate channel, right? Because we have all the different guys. Like, there's Mikey, there's Emilio, there's the twins, the Wildlife Brothers, there's Zach, there's me, there's Jack, there's Jackson from Australia. Like, we always joke about if we made a conglomerate of all the channels, who would have what role. And honestly, like, I really think like Jack belongs in the spotlight. Like, he's a theater kid. Like, he knows how to own a stage. And like, I'm trying to learn from him about how to even be on camera. Like, I'm okay on camera, but like Jack he just nails it. And I don't know. He's like, some people say he like does it too much, but that's just him. That's just who he is. Like, he's just a natural, funny entertainer. And like, he also knows his stuff. Like, he is probably one of the top 5 venomous snake handlers in the US, if not the world. Like, he is unbelievably good. So like, anybody who doubts him, I'm gonna have the final word right here. That dude knows his stuff, and absolutely probably one of the best wildlife presenters I have ever had the pleasure of working with. Matrix, even though I'm really fascinated in spiders, I'm massively scared of them. Any advice to get over the fear? Patience. Like, you're not gonna overcome your fear in a day or a week. You gotta really keep exposing yourself to the thing that scares you. Teach your brain that it's okay. And over time, with small, non-dangerous, inoffensive species like jumping spiders, practice being in the same room with them. Practice being a few inches from them. And over time, you kind of just start to train your brain and your body that, oh, this is actually not a threat. Because all fear is your brain registering some kind of threat response to a degree. Oh, somebody else just tipped me. Shadu, are you in Skeeter and like are you guys, you're conspiring. I'm like losing track of my brain right now because you're conspiring. Thank you though. I really appreciate it. I don't know how to like, because I feel like every time I say thank you, it sounds like, I don't know, forced, or like I say it so many times. It's just like, I don't know how to, we need a better word in the English language than thank you. So I can use that word when you guys tip me. Because it's just like, this is like incredible. Like, Prisma, love you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you. Travis. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm dramatic. I like the way I write videos is dramatic, but like Jack and I talked about this. Jack is an actor or like a presenter, right? He's the stage presence. I'm a writer. I like writing. Like some of you guys may or may not know this. I'm actually working on a novel project on the side. I'm hoping to be talking with a publisher by the end of the year. We'll see. But little secret project on the side. It's more of my science fiction nerdiness that's coming out over there, but that's um that's where I get to be dramatic, is in the writing. I'm just not able to express as voluptuously as Jack is. He's a gem. He's a gem. John Herzog, who's gonna tip dollars? Any relation to Werner Herzog? Let's see. I am forever in your debt. The gratefulness I feel is insurpassable to the mere human mind. Or I could say gracias. How do I find Skeeter? How do you find time to do all this stuff? Um, So that's kind of the thing. I don't. I'm just like I'm a little bit crazy, I guess. I don't know. I'm just wired weird, and I my whole life, I more than just wildlife. I'm trying to articulate here. Usually I have like a script and I'm like, practicing this beforehand, but it's my whole life I've been drawing, I've been writing, I've been telling stories, and more than just wildlife related stuff, I've always wanted to be a creator. And YouTube is the way that I know best to do it, but there's other ideas, there's other worlds living in my head that I want to get out, and I feel like writing like prose is the way that I want to do that. And so I kind of just make time for it, I guess. I don't know. It's never like it's not like I'm sitting down and writing a whole book. It's like I'm writing little snippets of it when I get chances to do it, and like the ideas are just always there. So it's not like they just disappear. I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. John Jagerman, would you ever go to Vietnam? Absolutely. There's a lot of really cool stuff in Vietnam. Honestly, like Asia, like Australia, Africa, even parts of the Middle East, if I can do it safely, like there's so much amazing wildlife there that I hope I have time to film in my lifetime. Because like, we are in a bit of a climate crisis. Like species are disappearing, and I'm like, well, crap, I got to rush to film them, cuz like it's kind of a dark note, but it's like to a degree there's a part of me that's like I want my channel to kind of be an archive. Like I want to have the chance to tell these stories about these amazing creatures before they're gone. So hopefully I can get to all those places and see all the cool stuff, but we'll see. I also troll phone scammers, Nick. Um, I have different characters that I do when I'm trolling phone scammers. I haven't done them in a while, but my parents love it when I do it because we'll have like these different people call the house, and I'll just do these crazy characters. My favorite is actually based off of. Oh God, you're gonna judge me when I say this. How many of you know what Filthy Frank is? Um, Filthy Frank is the voice that I and used I kind of took reference from his voice to do this crazy like serial killer character when people call the house. Um, yeah, some people are gonna be like, "Oh man," they're gonna be like, we're not gonna watch My Wild Backyard anymore if you watch Filthy Frank." I was in high school, okay. Prisma, of course. Oh man, Mr. Mick the Monster. Happy New Year to you as well, man. Happy New Year to you as well. Um, Kai McDougal. Yeah, for me, it's like I don't know. For me, it's like I want to get it out there. It's just like the strangest urge. Like maybe it's the validation. I don't know. Like, but not even like it's not like a I want millions and millions of fans. Like no, it's like I just like the validation of like I put something out there and people can see it and they can like it. When I first discovered YouTube, I want to tell the story in like the 1 million subscriber special one day. But when I first discovered what YouTube was, it was never about, you know, millions of dollars or making money or even having a business. It's free to use, and you can make a video and put it on the internet and people can see it. I was in like third grade. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember being just like my whole world was changed when I realized that you could make a video and put it somewhere and somebody else could see it. Someone else somewhere else in the world. And we made the stupidest videos. Like my two friends down the block would dress up as Mario and Luigi, or we'd make like these like weird skits, and oh man, like they don't even exist anymore, I don't think. But they were weird, and it doesn't matter because it was fun, and that's what mattered. So, um, Dave B, thank you so much. Thank you so much. As Ichthyo Venator say, I'm forever in your debt, and for your generous contribution to the channel, I'm going to make sure that I continue to make the best videos I possibly can. You guys really, I mean, that's like why I put so much work in, is because of the support like this. Like every time I'm like, tired, I'm like, but we have Skeeter or Valiant or Ichthyo Venator or Bullets for Teeth or Dave B in the comments, and I'm like, they're gonna like this video, so it's worth it that I'm this tired sometimes. So, Pink Guy, hey boss. Sorry. Christian James, how are you after the Red Widow bite? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, the Red Widow, I'm fine. So first and foremost, no symptoms. I definitely avoided the worst of that bite. Cameron, everyone give some love to Cam in the chat. So my girlfriend just came in. Cam, you're tipping me too. Oh man, love you, Cam. She's the best. Everyone give her some love. Heart these. I didn't realize you can heart the super chats now. Sorry, I just discovered that. I'm gonna go back and do that. I feel like a boomer sometimes. I discover things with the super chats that I didn't know they worked like that. That's cool. Yeah, Cameron's awesome. She's so, to put up with me doing the things that I do, she is a saint. So everyone give Cameron extra love because she puts up with me. Trista, I did my logo actually. I said I was a graphic designer before I was a YouTuber, a freelance graphic designer. Travis, I was in 30. Yeah, if that dates me a little bit. The Roadhammer. No, you rock. Yeah, I did my logo. Is the Executioner Wasp coming? One day. I haven't been able to personally see one in person. Something that I try to do with all my videos is like, I'm probably going to use some stock footage for like laboratory based stuff, but for all of my wildlife footage, I try to either use footage that I have shot or people that I have worked with in the field have shot. It's just like a personal preference. So I will not be releasing an Executioner Wasp video until I can film an Executioner Wasp in the wild. That's just a standard I hold myself to. But I want to get one. Reptiles rule. Do you ever plan on coming to California for great whites? I didn't know great whites were there. I don't know where I thought they were. I thought they were Australia. Or I mean, I know they have a very wide range because they kind of go everywhere, but I didn't know they were in California. I'd be down. I don't know how I'd film sharks yet, because like there's a lot of channels. One of the, like the methodologies I have here is like, you look at like a lion or a tiger or a great white shark. You don't need me to tell you that they're cool, right? But like a weird obscure scorpion or an insect or like some cool biological like weird thing about a snake or something, like that's the stuff that I love. And like I love sharks. I think they're awesome. But I don't know how I would approach a shark video just yet in a way that I would feel satisfied doing. I would love to see them. I don't know how I'd film them yet. So we'll see. T Manly, have you heard of that? I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not going to try and pronounce it. But do I think it could be real? I think So how I feel about most cryptids, there's probably some reason people believe in them. They've seen something. What it is, I don't know. Um, I have heard of that thing, the giant spiders of the Congo. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I feel about the that spider, because I mean I would love to, like, if I had like a ton of time to throw into it, I would love to go look, but I don't know. We'd see. We'll see. Um, all right, a fellow graphic designer. Yeah, so I do my logo, all the little motion graphics you see in the channel. I do all those. Um, Stuff like that. It's like one of my little like side hobbies besides just making videos. I like to do the animation stuff. Actually, I did my first one of my first ever YouTube channels was actually Lego stop motion animation with my brother. So the more you know, the more you know. Okay, I'm behind on the chat a little bit. Getting a tip from my girlfriend. Yes, it's funny. Don't read into that too much. Would I ever come to Long Island to look for critters? Absolutely. Actually, I have a good friend whose family is from Long Island, so I might, if I might just pop up there with him. Travis says Cameron and my wife would have a lot to talk about. Yes, they would probably they'd probably have a lot of laughs over a few drinks while we're out in the wilderness gallivanting, looking for spiders, skipping away, and taking samples and jotting down sketches and stuff in our scientific notebooks. And they'd be sitting laughing and like, look at those weird guys and their spiders. But yeah, she finds it entertaining. There's never a boring day. That's the nice part. So Dark J2 asked a very important question. You mentioned six-eyed sand spider and Sydney funnelweb in your Western Black Widow video. Have I made plans to go find them? Well, I'm gonna answer your question like this. I'm working, if finances work out and the channel continues to do well, in the latter half of this year, I'm working on a trip to either northern/coastal Peru/southern coastal Ecuador, but probably Peru. And I'm working on a Sydney, Australia trip. So I'm going to let you answer that question for yourself. If you go to Ecuador again, you should totally film one of the red on black corals. Their corals are so hard to find. So if I can find one, yeah, I would totally do. I actually want to do a video debunking the whole red on black, red on yellow thing, because people they think too much. Like, the rhyme is not that reliable. There's aberrant colors even in the areas where that rhyme is supposed to be true. Like, there's somebody who found a completely black coral snake in, I think it was Texas or something. So, like, don't trust the rhyme. Learn to look for the anatomy and shapes. Like, the face shape of a coral snake is unlike any other snake. Like, it has a very distinct. I don't know how to describe the coral. You can see like that elapid shape. I don't know. Like, study that kind of stuff. That'll really that'll help a lot better with like than just like patterning and rhymes. The Roadhammer, please come to New York and do a yellow sac spider and the hobo spider. I'm actually going to try and do those in the Pacific Northwest. I'm planning a trip this spring with my buddy Zach from Life's Wild Adventures, and I may try and get some salamander videos on the channel after that trip. So hobo spider, sac spider, and some really cool salamanders. Hopefully, we'll see. Skeeter, have you really never encountered a yellow sac spider? I have not. I have seen their distant cousins, the like ghost spiders, the genus Hibana, but I've never seen Cheracanthium. Is there a scientific research why old world tarantulas are less haired and more aggressive than New World? I think the aggression and the lack of aggression in the case of the New World ones, I think those are a byproduct of the hairs. We're not sure. Like, again, a lot of this stuff is just kind of happens, right? Like, it's one of those things. The best example I've heard is like the puddle analogy with evolution. You know, the puddle is water that has filled and perfectly formed to fit that particular hole in the ground. a different hole in the ground is going to have a different puddle, right? And I think just the different conditions that these tarantulas have come from and the lineages they came from resulted in their hairs, and their temperaments are based on how they can defend themselves. The New World tarantulas have urticating hairs. They don't need to be aggressive because they can just flick you with really itchy hairs. The Old World tarantulas don't have hairs they can flick you with, so they need to be able to bite and defend themselves. So that's kind of why how I think about it, but I don't really fully know. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it'll be the trips that I'm looking at. These international trips will probably be the second half of the year. I need to save up for them. But once I have the funds and I have like all the contacts in the field that I need to have, they're gonna be awesome. They're gonna be awesome trips. Yes, Ichthyovenator salamanders might be back on the menu. We'll see. We'll see. I'll see if I can come up with some good videos to cover them. Rubber boa is also potentially on the list. Let's see. Would you rather do a video on giant hornets or metricus? I mean, why not both? Giant hornets will be harder to get here. Metricus paper wasps are easier to find here. I've seen Metricus, Polistes metricus, so probably that would be faster. But giant hornets are. I'd love to do those eventually. Well, I'm glad to help you, Dylan Sanchez. I've had a lot of people tell me that like I helped cure their fear of spiders. Sorry, my brain is just been a long day. Um, yeah, it does mean a lot. Every single time somebody tells me that, like, it does mean quite a bit. Like, I love to be able to help people with these kinds of fears. Christian James, what's the difference in pattern and color between milk snakes and coral snakes? Well, technically, the coral snake in the southern U.S., the coral snake has yellow banding on red banding, where the milk snake has the yellow doesn't touch red ever, but it's not a really good idea to use that. Milk snakes are king snakes. They have a longer, more pointy snout. Coral snakes are kind of blunted in the front, and they have like this weird, almost not like a viper. It's like kind of a butt face. I don't know. It's not totally accurate, but it's like the elapid face is like beefier in the front, kind of like the face of a Gila monster. Almost it looks muscular almost, but it's just because of however their bone structure evolved. They look like their face is different, kind of buff. Yeah. Um, Roadhammer, my messages. Thanks. Will I ever do the Gila monster of Arizona? Who's to say I haven't? I haven't released the video yet because I'm actually working on finishing that one. It's not done, but who's to say I haven't done a Gila monster? Who's to say? Danny Smith, what bug are you most scared of? Lice. Lice are disgusting. Oh my god. Lice are the bug I'm most scared of. Let's see. Check in from Costa Rica. Man, people from everywhere today. Wood frogs in Alaska? Maybe. There's actually some cool biology with them that I might explore. I might explore those because they have this weird way they actually don't fully freeze. If I can find an interesting way to cover that, I would love to do that. Yeah, so wood frogs potentially. Again, I still want to prioritize a lot of the creepy crawlies, but I love amphibians. They're so cool. Let's see. Mosquitoes, not scared of, but they're definitely the most annoying. I'm actually working on I'm hoping if I can get it. I've been working on it for like 2 years now, and I haven't found a way to make it fully work. Travis in the comments, if he's still here, he knows about this. I'm working on a really crazy mosquito video that I will hopefully get done this year, finally. Premium Shay, how to tell the difference between Southern Black Widow and a Western Black Widow. Part of it's the hourglass shape. Westerns have a very skinny, like almost vertical hourglass from the ones I've seen, at least the populations I've seen. Their juveniles also are very striped. The southern black widow is totally jet black, no banding on legs at all, and has a fatter, complete hourglass. Sometimes the westerns can be split, so that's the best one I know. But again, populations are so variable that it's hard to always have 100% 100% ID guide. Is there a chance of you making a video on grasshoppers or maybe more boring? They're not boring. Oh, boring bugs like leafhoppers. They're not boring. No bugs are boring, except maybe like no bugs are boring. What are you talking about? I'm actually working on yes, I'm working on grasshopper videos this year as well. Like, can you show your Carolina wolf spider? Yes, I can. She's in a temporary container because her enclosure is dirty. Hello. This is her. This is the new one. This is the new one. She's grumpier than. There she is. Yeah, so she's in a temporary container right now because I haven't cleaned her cage. That was on my to do list for tomorrow. So I just kind of tossed her a cricket in here. Ah. But yeah, so she's doing well. It's the one from Florida. Half distracted. Let's see. Australian widows, yes. If I can get to Australia this year, the redback is one of my biggest targets. Sarah Gates. I haven't seen you in the comments in a while, Sarah. How have you been? Happy New Year. I feel like I haven't seen. I don't know if YouTube's just been deleting your comments or something because it's been weird lately. But I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Dark J, thank you. Yeah, dude, like the Brazilian wandering spider, like, okay, here's the thing. A little disclaimer on the Brazilian wandering spider. Phoneutria depilata, which is the exact species that I filmed, is generally more relaxed than other Phoneutria. That being said, I have also seen people free handle Phoneutria boliviensis, Phoneutria nigriventer. I've seen people who know what they're doing and don't know what they're doing, both free handle both of those other two species. I have not seen anyone free handle Phoneutria fera. That being said, it's like I said with the funnel webs, animals have predictable patterns of behavior. If you can calm an animal down, you can get them to be a safe, handleable spider. That being said, so the spiders that I wouldn't handle or would be more unlikely to handle are more because of the risk of a dangerous bite if they decide that they want to take a chomp. Like after that red widow bite, like nothing is 100% perfect and predictable. So I don't know. Yeah, she was a little grumpy off camera CDs. She actually almost bit me when I put her in the container the first time when I had her walking on the carpet. She got really mad. But then of course she was happy to get a cricket in her container once I got her back in her enclosure. But what species have I kept? I have kept a lot. Let's see if I can list them all. Phidippus regius, I've kept 3. One of which is the one that I've had for over a year now, and she's still doing great. I have kept Homelonicus selenopoides, one of the desert sand spiders. It didn't live very long. It wouldn't eat. I have kept lynx spider. I have kept many wolf spiders. Weirdly enough, Carolina wolf spiders survive really well in captivity. Hognolenta does not. Hognolenta, if I can get them to eat, usually only eat once and then die. And other Hognolenta specimens I've kept have died without eating. I've put a cricket in their cage, the cricket's still alive, bouncing around, the spider's just curled up dead. And I'm like, why didn't you eat? I have kept southern widows, a western widow. I've kept praying mantises, Carolina mantis, Chinese mantis. I've kept northern walking sticks. I've kept oh boy, obscure bird grasshoppers, angle-winged katydids. Eastern red centipedes. Florida blue centipede didn't survive. Um, I know I'm missing some in here. I've tried to keep Florida wandering spiders. They don't. The female lived longer. The males didn't survive very long at all. Wouldn't even eat in captivity. I don't know. Um, I'm not ignoring you, the Roadhammer. Thank you so much for a tip as well. I was caught up in the answering the question, but man, you guys are really. Thank you so much. Uh, Apine, any attempts or success on short form content? That's a great question. I've seen a lot of data from creators that I work closely with that shorts do more harm than good. And I've done case studies on larger channels that I'm not acquainted with, but I've been kind of just monitoring their videos. Um, and I've seen a lot of channels that do shorts and their long form videos don't get any engagement. I really prefer the long form videos. I feel like I can tell more stories. I can connect better with you. Um, Short form, there are ways I think short form could work, and I'm open to experimenting with those this year, but I wouldn't say it's a priority, if that makes sense. Latrodectus hesalti. Yep, that is a huge target of mine. North Carolina at behind the scenes. Wait, or is somebody named behind the scenes or someone? Oh yes, yes. I live in North Carolina, Central North Carolina. Hmm. Prisma apparently lives not far from me. How good are Eastern red centipedes of temperament? They're chill. Eastern reds and Eastern barks I have handled with no problem. Eastern reds do not stay on your hand. They'll run off. It's really hard to handle them. Eastern barks, easy to handle. Florida blues bite me every time. Sarah Gates, when are you going to create a membership? Wow, both the questions. So Patreon, I have been asked about a lot. So as of right now, I am working on Patreon. I say working because I'm just kind of thinking about how I'm going to approach it. I'm not actively working on it at the moment. And the reason being is a lot of the visions I want for Patreon are a little too ambitious for my workload right now. I have a couple of like beta versions of Patreon that I would like to test. And if I do decide to test them, it'll probably be like end of this month to mid-February I'd launch that. So it's in the future. If I decide to launch it, it'll be in the near future. Actually, those of you who are interested in potentially Patreon, because I released a survey last spring, and the consensus was that you wanted most of the content to stay on the main channel for free, and I like that idea. I want to make sure people can access the main stories, but I'd be curious, would you like to see more like story time stuff, like behind the scenes, like what happened with this video, or like if I don't have like footage of behind the scenes, like if I told the story of like how certain videos were made, is that something people would be interested in? Like, because there's some wild stories that led to some of the finds we've had. So up to you. Let's see. I missed a couple questions. Am I going to work with giant house spiders or cardinal spiders in Europe? Yes. If I go to Europe, those are my main targets. Cardinal spiders are one of the velvet spiders, and velvet spiders are like one of the spiders I've wanted to see for years. Let's see. I didn't share my New Year's resolution, so here I go. Going to Colorado this June. Yeah, dude, the West, it's so much easier to find Carolina wolf spiders, which is wild to me. Wild to me. Have I kept any scorpions? Yes, I forgot about that. I kept Hence striped scorpion. They also never ate anything and died. I think it's a humidity thing with those guys, though. It's just the thing is that's the thing. I'm trying basically after this current cohort of spiders that I have. Like, they're my educational animals. I love them too. They're just awesome to like look at and like feed them crickets and watch them eat. But I kind of want a break from keeping stuff so I can focus on making content. Like that's my purview. My focus is I love making stuff. So I want to move more into that, and like I want to make sure that like when I have time to be a good pet owner, I can be a good pet owner. But like right now, it's like I only have time for like a handful of like really easy, low maintenance invertebrates, and wolf spiders, jumping spiders, and black widows are as low maintenance as it gets. Let's see. YouTube members, I would probably not do YouTube membership because let's just say that I got demonetized, right? Then I lose ads and members on YouTube. So Patreon is kind of a hedge against that happening, and I feel safer having it on a separate platform than YouTube. Am I going to do a video on Cyclomatus metillifer? I don't actually know offhand what that is. Let me Google that. Cyclomatus. Oh, a stag. Yeah, if I can get one of those, man, you bet I'd film that. Let's see. Bloopers and outtakes will also be on Patreon. Behind the scenes, bloopers and outtakes. There are lots of segments that just never made it into anything, and never I kind of shot them, and I'm like, this isn't good enough, and I shot a better segment, so I'm like, I'm just gonna scrap this one. So outtakes, bloopers, like old archive footage that never has seen the light of day, those are going to be in there. Yeah, that's like kind of the current idea I have. Evening, Jake Eves, new to the channel. Hey, welcome. Glad to have you here. Whether you've been here for like 2 weeks or 2 hours or 2 years, love to have you here. And the stink bugs, what I tell you, they're everywhere, and like they just swarm in the house. There's a guy, Frank Taylor, Nature at Your Door. He made a good video on the marmorated stink bugs, and they're so annoying. So check out that video. 3 garters, they were smashed. Oh wait, no. Oh, a nest of 3 or 4 hidden. Okay, I saw smashed, and I was like, oh no. But okay, that was much cuter than I thought the comment was going to be, Sarah. Let's see. What do you do when you find something super cool but aren't recording a video? Great question. So that depends on what it is. If I'm out on like a production trip, we don't care. Like, okay, the shot's not gonna be great. Just pull out my phone and we film. If it's something that we can we'll like grab it and like, okay, we have to like reposition it. Like we don't plant, but we'll reposition things if we're like, okay, we have a better chance to like roll on this. So stuff like that. Like once in a while we have to do that because nothing's perfect, right? CDs, I think you missed out on a weird wolf spider in Florida. Have I seen Socipus floranus? I have, but it was too small. Like they get bigger. We found a tiny one, and so I'm like, well, it's too small to film, but I have seen them. I've seen a Socipus species in Mississippi as well. That's when I first became aware of Socipus as a genus. It was in Mississippi. Christian James, I think Spencer, a good nickname for you is Spencer the Arthropod Hunter. Sure. People have been starting in like 2022, people started calling me a spider hunter, so I've been putting that in like my little YouTube tags, but Arthropod Hunter, I'll take that too. I love all those things. Premium Shay, what are the top 3 cutest spiders? Bold jumping spiders, velvet spiders, and wolf spiders. What's the biggest spider I have found? The Ecuadorian bird eater on the coast of Ecuador. We believe it was Pamphibedius ultramarinus, but because Pamphibedius is such a mess taxonomically, we really can't know for sure what the species was that we found. It may have been undescribed. It may have been the same species as the purple bloom. We don't know. They may just be color morphs in localities. We don't know how they. Currently, those are all being resolved by people smarter than I am. So, just stop to say hi. Spider handling videos scare me to death, but I can't stop. Hey, some of those spider handling videos, they scare me to death too, but I know they're important to do because to put out a better message about these spiders to the world is really important because so many spiders get smashed and so many spiders that look like other spiders get smashed, even though they're not even the spider they look like. So the better I can make these reputations better, the better we can coexist with all these awesome critters. Yes, so technically not the big bird eaters, but like the purple tarantula we got was a bird eater. The golden tarantulas we got in Ecuador were bird eaters of a kind. They were Thrixopelma, was the genus, and um, the other Pamphibidius, the coast, is technically a bird eater. Yeah. Reptiles rule. How do you go about finding places to look for stuff without being on private property? Part of that is knowing where national forests are. Those are usually pretty safe to go look for stuff. Number two, this is road cruising. Public trails are usually pretty good. I find the coolest stuff on like greenways. Like I'll be like walking with my girlfriend in like, the triangle area, and we'll find like stuff that I'm like, what is this doing here? So, and I don't film everything that I find. I just take pictures and put it on iNaturalist and move on. But stuff like that. CDs. When I say the biggest true spider, I mean just Dolomedes in general. So Dolomedes vittatus is not the largest species, but Dolomedes, the genus, are the largest true spiders in North America. So I just kind of use it as like a blanket term. Fishing spiders are the biggest, so I didn't have access to a big Dolomedes tenebrosus or Ocyphenochiensis, so I just went with the vittatus. What is your all-time favorite herping spot? A place in a location. I can't give those out because I have a rule with like the herping spots is they were usually given to me by somebody who cares about that spot very much. So I can't disclose those locations. Someone who I'm working with in a professional capacity can come with me to those places, and I'll talk to people who gave me the location ahead of time so that I can, ethically do that. But my favorite herping spots are secret. So, are tree frogs going to make an appearance on the channel? I don't see why not. I don't have a concept for a good tree frog video right now, but I could probably bang my head against the wall for a while and come up with one. And no, I'm not going to do that on the stream, but I could think about a tree frog video. Yeah, I like tree frogs. They're cool. What's the most interesting North American spider? Oh, the most interesting North American spider for me is the wolf spider. Yeah. Wolf spider. No, that's a hard one. I really think that Red Widow is one of the top ones, I think. Ogre faces, another big one. But wolf spiders are up there. There's actually in Hawaii, not continental North America, but legally North America. Hawaii has an eyeless cave wolf spider. That's pretty neat. Does North Carolina have tegus? I mean, in captivity, not in the wild. It's too cold, way too cold here. Like right now, outside, it's way too cold. They'd be dead. The mesothelae are actually they're still around, believe it or not. I think they only survive in Asia, but yeah, the mesothelae are still around. They're not the size of a human head. They might have been in the Carboniferous, but not anymore. Is my question dumb or something? I didn't see it. Oh, what's the best way to get a skittish, wild, jumping spider to interact with you? Do you have to capture it in a cup for it to calm down? It's easier if you capture them first. It's always easier. You'll actually see in this weekend's video, you'll see that because I actually got a very skittish, wild, jumping spider. It's easier if you do a cup first, and then you go from cup to hand. You could. I'm never worried about them biting. I'm worried about them disappearing when they're skittish. So it's easier to start with a cup and then get onto your hand than just go straight from from plant to hand. Ooh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Alex. Yeah, it's because like with a lot of those favorite spots, there's a lot of sensitive species, And it's not even that I'm necessarily worried about you. It's more that I'm worried about who might accidentally find that, and the more people who are aware of sensitive spots, the more likely they'll get poached at some point. So it's more about protecting the sensitive species that are there and respecting the people who found those spots. Yeah, Megarachne. Oh, was not a spider. Interesting. Emily Sadler. Happy New Year. Always glad to entertain with these videos, even if it's scary or just weird. Like weird is entertaining. I'm weird. I can be entertaining sometimes. Have I ever heard of the giant Ceracopelma? No. I mean, it's a tarantula. I recognize the one of the root words of that. Ceracopelma. What does that look like? Ceraco. Oh, they're big. Yeah, I'd go for those. Oh, great question. So, CDs asks if I ever go to Asia, what reptiles are on my list? Cobras. Cobras and crates for sure. I am quite scared to work with cobras, but they are also something that I need to learn to work with. And there's so much interesting biology with those creatures that I want to eventually be able to confidently work with like large Asian elapids and, not be like peeing myself. So, do I ever think the Brazilian wandering spider will become widespread in Mexico or the US? No. It could potentially maybe get established in South Florida, but even then I don't know. The habitat's not right. Maybe in like the hammocks. I don't know. I don't think so. Happy New Year to Duke the Spider. Is that Phidippus Auduk from? I think it is. I bet it is. Another legend from the Discord. So if you wanna figure out all the weird stuff we're talking about, description below. We have a Discord server for the channel. Up near Asheville. No, they killed the Hellbender. I'm speechless. Hellbenders are so cool. Like, why would you kill one of those? All right, Skeeter. You have a good night, man. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for everything, dude. Like, I mean it. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of targets I have up in the mountains over there. Hellbenders and um, Hellbenders and a very special spider, actually, that's only in the Appalachians. It's called the spruce fir moss spider. It is one of the rarest spiders in the country, if not the world. And it's basically one of the smallest megalomorphs in the world. So it's one of the tarantula cousins, but they're like that big, and they live in the moss mats on these mountains. But they're actually endangered because I forget what insect it was. It's an invasive species from Europe that is killing the plants they use to survive, and it's really unfortunate. So later, bullets. Wish you the best in 24. Brain. I wish you the best in 2024 as well. You have a good one, man. Take it easy. Andy Miller, would you ever go to India and Sri Lanka to see the arboreal spiders there? Yes. The Poecilotheria are actually endangered and protected, so I would need to probably get with some people who have permits, because I want to work with them, but I want to make sure I do it right. That's a big thing here. Is I want to make sure I do it right, because I don't want to set a bad example for people who will follow. Like, I want to. A lot of these places are fantastic, biodiverse, amazing habitats. I want to be able to go back time and time again and not be banned, right? So all of those things, I want to make sure I do it right, and it does take time to do it right. But yes, those big uh, metallic blue tarantulas are on my list for sure. Well, thank you, Solon. Premium shade. What's the most dangerous tarantula? It depends on what you mean by tarantula. Some people would say that megalomorphs in general are tarantulas, in which case the Sydney funnel web is the most dangerous tarantula. But if we're talking about just Theraphosidae, the true tarantulas, probably one of the old world ones, and I think some of the like orange baboon spiders and stuff are considered to be medically significant. So those are pretty gnarly. Shannon McNally overcame my fear of spiders through educational videos. That's how you do it. Over time, just keep exposing yourself to spiders and you'll get there. And I photograph many. Yeah, that's awesome. I probably have. What is your handle in Discord? I probably have seen your spider photos. The share your adventures tab does get a little bit busy, so sometimes I can't follow every single post. But I have not seen the timber rattlers of New York. I have seen timber rattlers in Texas, North Carolina, and Louisiana. Hopefully, I'll be able to see them up north as well one day. How do you overcome your fear of spiders? Just keep exposing yourself to spiders. Like, just learn about them and like force yourself to be in the same room as a spider and just be like, you know what? I'm actually okay. Like, just it's just kind of all about making yourself more and more comfortable and just slowly pushing your comfort zone further and further until they no longer bother you. It's a difficult process, but you can absolutely do it. And no matter what fear you have, you can overcome it, but it does take a lot of work. It does take time. So best thing is just to be patient. Oh, lampshade spider. Lampshade spiders are very cool. Good suggestion, Prison. I always forget those exist. That's one of those that's one of those spiders that like it's just so obscure that like I forget they're there. But yeah. Someone said when working with cobras, do not become Chandler's wildlife. Yeah, I don't want to get bit by a cobra. No. Chandler is actually a fairly good guy. He, from what I've been told, he does like Coyote. He plays up his personality for the camera. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's a little bit. I think he risks too much. Like I don't like the idea of free handling venomous snakes. I don't care how experienced I am. I just don't really see myself free handling venomous snakes ever. So not my thing. I think it's a little just a little too much. Okay. Okay, yeah. Necro Goblet Kitty. I remember seeing you. Have I ever seen a northern black widow? I have seen, as of this point, I have seen all of the native Latrodectus of the U.S. Yes, I have seen a northern black widow. Timbers of New York in my future. Yes, near future. I don't know. I'm still figuring out my domestic travel for this year. I'm thinking my main trips are going to be Pacific Northwest, Arizona, a South America run that's to be determined, and an Australia run. Those two international ones are going to be really budget dependent, but I'm going to try and do them. Let's see. Greatest fear is the fear of unknown. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all fear is the unknown. Yep. Ambient, fellow NC native, you single-handedly got me actively looking for jumpers when in season, still trying to find a male bold jumper with a bright green chelicerae. I wish they had a more specific microhabitat that I could suggest for you, but it's really just kind of time, like just time in the field, I guess. Alex, have you ever come across pygmy rattlers? I have not only come across pygmies, I have seen all three subspecies. I have seen the Carolina one. I've seen quite a few of those. Brilliant red. It's an older video though. I have seen the Duskies in Florida. I have seen three localities of Duskies, I think. And I've seen two localities of the Western pygmy, the Streckeri. So I've seen lots of pygmy rattlesnakes. Ichthyovener, are you going to feature more of your art on the channel? Mm-hmm. Yeah, more graphics on the way. Right now, I'm still figuring out which videos those are going to go in, but yeah, more graphics on the way for sure. Why do you think we acquire the fear of spiders from RCOBO 101, Arcobo. So there's actually some really interesting research on that. I don't have the paper handy, but it was a recent paper. The leading hypothesis on why we are afraid of snakes and spiders is actually two things. One, they look very different than we are, but they also move very different than we do. So what happens is they are very unpredictable, and because they, in some cases, and probably in our ancestors, like it's not that long ago that a snake bite from a venomous snake was a death sentence. So we probably have instincts to avoid things that move unpredictably because it could be venomous, it could be dangerous, and it could hurt or kill us. In many parts of the world, that fear does serve pretty well. If you live, like if you're a hunter gatherer in the wild, that fear of spiders and snakes would actually serve you to survive. Whereas now we have modern medicine, we have civilization, we don't really need to fear them anymore. So the fear is somewhat innate, but it also is not that innate. I don't know. Does that make sense? Will I ever want to see a Komodo dragon? Yes. Will I film one? I don't know. It's kind of like sharks. Like I don't know how to cover a Komodo dragon in a way that I would feel satisfied. Because the thing is, like, I like to make these videos that you guys enjoy them, but there's a part of it with every video. I try to make a video that I am going to be creatively fulfilled with. And there are a lot of different large animals that I'm like, I don't know that my voice is the voice to cover them. That doesn't mean I don't want to see them, but film them. We'll see. We'll see how I end up covering those. Am I going to work with South American black widows if I can? I haven't found any yet, but when I find some, I will. Fertile ants, inland taipan, black mamba, they all seem like they'd be really not good to free handle. Fertile ants is of those, the fertile ants. Actually, no, I think actually the inland taipan. I'm going to change my answer. I think the inland taipan of those is probably the best to free handle. None of them are safe to free handle. But I think if you're going to free handle any of them, the inland taipan is the least likely to decide to end your career. Black mamba is probably the most likely to decide to end your career. Mediterranean widows in Croatia or Spain. Yes, Mediterranean widows I want for a couple of reasons. They're actually, last I checked, the Mediterranean black widow is actually the black widow species that has the most confirmed kills in human history. Not 100% sure why. They're not the most toxic species, but they are large and they're found in areas that are heavily populated, so that might be part of it, but they're pretty serious. Let's see. Yes, great questions. A lot of really interesting questions. That's why I'm missing comments, because these questions I can't just like give a 2-word answer. I have to give a detailed answer to a lot of these because they're actually pretty like there's pretty interesting. Oh man. Okay. So, how many of you guys have watched Star Wars? Ichthyovenator has just requested something. I have to drink for this. So, if you've watched Star Wars, you might be familiar with one of my favorite characters, General Grievous. Let me get a cup. Hold on. So, to do a General Grievous voice, you need a plastic cup because you got to get that like echoiness here, right? But then, someone say hello there in the chat. Someone say hello there. There we go.
General Kenobi, you are a bold one.
So you have to like do like a really guttural like General Kenobi, but like when you get the cup, it echoes and it sounds like General Grievous. It's great.
The Negotiator. Anakin Skywalker. I thought someone with your reputation would be a little bit older.
My voice is gonna be fried now. If I want to really fry my voice, I'll do Palpatine. That one would. I won't be able to talk anymore. Okay. Palpatine is interesting. So, before I do Palpatine, let's. Have I ever seen the Redwood Range? No, I actually haven't been to California. Technically, when I was really, really little, my parents said they like drove through there or something briefly, but yeah, I've never actually been like properly to California, so I haven't been to the Redwoods yet. But I'm gonna change that eventually. Okay, so Palpatine. Alex wants Palpatine. I'm sure Ichthyovenator wants Palpatine. He usually does. So Palpatine, you don't need a special cup or anything, but you have to like really get it going because it's like deep in your throat, right? But that's not the Palpatine. So you have to really get like, Commander Cody. Oh God, my voice. Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute order. God. Okay, my voice is way too fried to do Palpatine. Execute order 66. It's as good as I'm going to get for now. Next time, have me do it earlier before my voice is tired. Wow. Yeah. Let's see. Could you ever talk about the Tarica genus Ensatinas? Yes. Yeah, I don't know how Ian does it without making the face. I think it's just natural. The amount of time, I'm such a nerd. The amount of time I just do these for fun with like friends of mine, it's really stupid. It's really stupid. Someone says that's a really good Palpatine. Thank you. I had a better vocal cord not destroyed from talking for like almost 2 hours in my Scorpion Fly video. So I did a little do what must be done. Do not hesitate. Show no mercy. But yeah. Right now it's really bad. Have you ever found raspy crickets? I think there's one species that's technically a raspy cricket here in North Carolina. I think I've seen those, but the proper ones from like Australia, not yet. When I'm there, yeah, I got you. I want to get outside and find your own adventure shirt. How so? See, Mom, these are real world skills. Yes, part of becoming a YouTuber is you have to know how to do Star Wars impressions. I am not great with impressions, but the ones that are like really exaggerated, I can fake enough to make them. I would honestly I'd not be opposed to making a T-shirt for like get outside and find your own adventure. If I do merchandise, that'd be probably one of the big ones. Reptile's rule. How tall am I? My posture is terrible right now, but probably like 6'3" when I'm slouching, 6'4" when I'm actually standing properly. 6'2" on a really bad day. Like if I'm like really like slouched, like right if I like straighten up, yeah, like 6'4". But yeah, Jerusalem crickets are in California and Arizona. The biggest thing with when I'm trying to get certain things, I try to plan my trips around like a main video I'm trying to shoot that will actually like pay for the trip, right? It's all about like I have to make sure like okay, if I spend this money, I have bills to pay. Am I going to get this money back? So then it's like okay, what else is in that location? So right now I'm working on a couple of longer projects that require giant centipedes and Mojave rattlesnakes and stuff like that. So the Sonoran Desert is a bit more on my radar for Jerusalem crickets, and like also like there's like Maricopa harvester ants there, which I didn't get last time in Arizona. There's a lot of stuff I missed in Arizona last time back in August, so I'm hoping to kind of clean up before I try to make a venture to California. But all of those areas are like there's no state that I'm like absolutely not. There are some states that I'm like probably not. Like a lot of the like Midwest, like I'm from there. Like you go further south, you get cooler stuff. You go further west, you get cooler stuff. But the Midwest, there's like not stuff that I can't get here or anywhere else. So, but a lot of the what did I call my height in the Brownwood? I don't remember, but something like that. I don't have the climbing talents. I'm more out altitudely. I don't know. I forget. It's in the Brown Widow video. I was some kind of stupid quip that I made. Let's see. Yes, the North Carolina leaf roller. I don't know that they would be common. They're around. You'll see them once in a while. Let's see. Compared to Yellow Jacket sting, how would it compare pain-wise to other insects or a spider bite? I would say a wolf spider bite, the initial pain is on par with the yellow jacket sting, but the yellow jacket sting pain lasts way longer. A wolf spider is a bite and then like maybe itchy. Yellow jacket continues to hurt for a while. I've gotten swarmed by yellow jackets before. It was not fun. I haven't been bitten by the wheel bug, but I've heard that's probably one of the worst. And then toe biter is also one of the worst. Every feeder cricket's revenge dream. Yeah, especially the ones in Australia. I wish you would start an adventure fund. When I launch Patreon, that's basically what it's going to be. Is like, so those of you who don't know, I'm actually training an editor right now who will help me edit these videos. So I have more time to do planning and writing and scripting and getting other projects built. But gifted in the altitude department. Thank you, Ichthyovenator. He knows my lore better than I do. But yes, I'm hoping to use the funds from Patreon and eventually merchandise to fund these big trips to help make these awesome videos happen. Because I have some really crazy ideas that I really hope to be able to produce, but I have to have money to produce them, and it's always the thing, right? Let's see. I'm too scared to go to Utah or somewhere like that, Brisma said. Would I go to Borneo? Yeah, I would go to Borneo. If someone's like, hey, I got a ticket to Borneo, I would be like, I'm going. Like, Borneo is so cool. Ugh. Basil's here. Everyone say hello to Bundle of Basil. Another one of the legends of the Discord. If you don't know, you have to join. It's in the description below. It's all I can say is join the Discord. It's awesome. Awesome people. Hoping Eric makes a appearance. Let's see. It's Archie asked. They might have asked already, but how's your arm since the Red Widow bite? Good. Thankfully. It's, I said the biggest lasting damage from the Red Widow has actually been psychological. Like, it's like they say, it's not what is it? They say the chains are the easy part. It's what goes on in here that's hard. The Florida trip I had in March took a lot out of me. I got in a really nasty car accident. I got a Red Widow bite. The first day down there, we got the cops called on us for stupid reasons. And it's like, it's so crazy. Like, I am like a much more paranoid driver now. I'm much more paranoid with free handling now. It's like, it's crazy how much those kind of things going wrong actually affects you. And kind of into my Star Wars nerd isms, right? When I went down to Florida back in November with Jack, I decided to drive again because I was like, look, I have to confront this fear that I have. I can't let it be the master of me, right? They say the Jedi, right? You can feel fear as a Jedi, but you can't let it be the master of you. That's how you fall into the dark side. And it's like, to become a master of your fear, you have to confront it head on. And that's the challenge. So that's what I did. But yeah, CDs. The Discord is fairly new. I launched it like last year, I think, like silently. But this year I've been properly like actually maintaining it and managing it. So it really is only a relatively new thing. You are missing a lot by not being there. But it's not like it didn't exist back when you first started watching. No. Let's see. Our Kobo says, are you looking forward on making a living off YouTube? So actually, this is my full-time job. Most of the money that I make is invested back in the channel. And when I say paying my bills, it's also I consider that investing back in the channel because if I don't pay my bills, I don't get to live. So um, I'm not making a ton, but I'm making enough to survive. And as the channel scales, I'll be able to eventually, save for retirement and like do things like that. But it is absolutely incredible. My professional future is going to be in this space, either making videos on here or building other content and creative businesses. Like that's what I'm built to do. So that's kind of what I'm already doing and just more of it basically. So let's see. What is the Discord? Discord is in the description of this live stream. Premium Shay, have you gained your confidence back? More than I had. I think, as I said in that video, I think there's always gonna be a little bit of fear there now. Like it's gonna be something I'm gonna have to constantly kind of work on and be like cognizant of. But it's not. I'm not as paranoid and as jumpy as I was like right after the Red Widow bite. But it's definitely something that it's always gonna be there. I think like so like the permanent damage is not to my arm; it's to my psyche, my mind a little bit. So when you said you're gonna make tier lists, are you gonna rank how successful they are in the wild? Sort of. Yeah. Coolest. So I'd be down to make like tier lists of who's the coolest, but I don't think that's the best. I don't think that's a video that a lot of people are gonna like care about. Like uh a tier list of like what spiders I think are the coolest would be good for like a live stream or something. But the kind of stuff I want to put into a video, I want to have it be like scientifically relevant. Like one of the biggest pushes I want to have for this year is I want to have the videos be a bit more groundbreaking than they've been. I want to kind of push our knowledge on these invertebrates wherever I can. Travis, who may or may not still be in the chat, but if he's no longer in the chat, Travis McHenry is a fantastic spider science communicator, and I've been really inspired by a lot of his work, and I want to kind of lean more into using more research rabbit holes and stuff to tell more interesting, groundbreaking stories about the wildlife we share our planet with. John Best, Happy New Year to you as well, man. Let's see. A few questions about the fear stuff. One was Phenutria before or after Red Widow? It was after, but Phenutria is different. So it's much more dangerous, but the behavior is a lot more similar to a large wolf spider. And because they're bigger, like the smaller spiders and the spindly legs, like they're a lot more unpredictable than a large spider would be. The Phenutria they're biologically similar to wolf spiders, enough so that I was able to kind of, oh, this is like a much more venomous wolf spider. And that's exactly how she acted. Would I ever handle a redback? Yes. Loxosceles laeta, I don't know. The Chilean recluse is a very, very serious bite, just like the six-eyed sand spider. I don't know if I would handle it. So, Spencer, do I ever go camp? So Basil asked if I ever go camping. Not as much as you would think, given my outdoorsy videos. Mostly because so if I did like a lodge camping, I would do it, but like in a tent, not really, because when I'm on like those like wilderness kicks, I'm trying to film, and the problem with camping with a tent is it's hard to charge my camera stuff and keep it from the humidity. So it's like a double-edged sword. Like I'm always kind of like I want to make content because I love making content, but it's hard to do that in a camping setting. So I don't really camp a whole lot, unfortunately, but I do when I do it, I like it. It's just very, very rare that I do it. There he is. There he is. Travis is still here hiding in the chat. You lurker. Tracy Pest says, I live in Singapore. Do you know any reptiles and spiders that live here? you should have a bunch of really cool huntsman spiders as well as cobras. Cobras are in that area of the world. So, am I ever going to appear on Travis's channel? I don't know. Travis, am I going to ever appear on your channel? CDs wants to know. And then Reptile's rule, what's your favorite dinosaur? I must know. Ichthyovenator says, I cannot say Dunkleosteus. So, let's see. I like Dunkleosteus a lot because it's really cool. So I'm going to go with Mosasaur. There's an aquatics theme here. I love aquatic things. They're just so weird. Like, think of the weirdest thing that you can think of on land, right? Like, do you have it in your head right now? What's the weirdest thing in on land that you can think of? Okay, you got it. Blobfish. You know, any cnidarians at all. Sponges. Sponges are animal. Mosasaur is a dinosaur, but sponges are animals. That's weird. Mantis shrimp they see more colors than any other animal on the planet. So aquatics are based. Aquatics in the coolness factor, aquatics are just S tier by default. Let's see. Weirdest thing on land, me. Listen, Valiant. I make videos about bugs for a living. I might be weirder. I'm pretty weird. Let's see. T-Rex on a string. There are squamates? I didn't know there were squamates. Dang it. Plesiosaur. Yeah, so many people don't. Why are so many people, they don't think arthropods are animals? Like, I met herpers in Arizona who didn't think that arthropods. Okay, what's an aquatic dinosaur then? Am I just like tripping? I genuinely don't know paleontology, so like I'm gonna be like really basic and say like Tyrannosaurus Rex because no. One of the raptors, probably Deinonychus. If I can't choose an aquatic, then Deinonychus. Anyways, yeah. So many people don't consider arthropods to be animals. Like, they're in the animal kingdom. What are you talking about? I met herpers who go out and look for snakes and reptiles, other reptiles. Then and they were like, "Oh, I bet you're one of those guys who thinks that bugs are animals." I'm like, I don't think it. I know it. What do you mean? Yes, there's a rooster crowing in the background. I'm in my room and we have roosters outside, and that's just part of the backyard. But yeah, there's a rooster crowing outside. I wish I was an ankylosaurus. God, I cannot. Ankylosaurus. I cannot pronounce that one. What time is it here? It is 9:06. I'm probably going to stay on for about another half an hour. I actually tend to do screens off around 10. I like to get up early and work and run and stuff. So, yeah, why don't, yeah, they think they're plants or fungi. That's a great question. What they're like, oh, well, they're bugs. I'm like, yeah, but like, what kingdom of life do they belong to? But yeah, so I'll be probably hopping off at like 9:30, so like 24 more minutes. Just because, yeah, I usually do screens off at 10. I'm probably want to last 30 minutes to like hang out with my girlfriends for a little bit. So, bugs is plants, Alex says. They're protists. Ichthyovenator, I don't think that the people who call insects not animals, I don't think they know what protists are. I don't think protist is a thing in their vocabulary. Oh yes, carnivorous caterpillars. Those are in Hawaii. At least the ones I know of are in Hawaii. My friend JJ from Ecotasia told me about those. Those are really cool. Oh yes, I did not see that. I'm sorry, Prisma. Sea spiders and brittle stars. Sea spiders are interesting because they are chelicerates, so they're related to spiders, but they're not arachnids. They're actually their own group. And brittle stars are just weird. But again, yes, like aquatics are like you name the weirdest thing on land, there will always be a weirder thing in the water. I don't know why. There are reasons why, but not for the stream. Let's see. What is your favorite nature documentary? Um, Probably Steve Irwin's 10 Deadliest Snakes. I've watched that like several times. And then outside of that, any episode of River Monsters. River Monsters is like the best thing in the world. Besides that one, people give Coyote a lot of flack, but some of Brave Wilderness's earlier stuff were really good. Like some of their like stuff from like Costa Rica the first time, that was like top tier YouTube wildlife documentaries. Like I I miss when they had that vision of amazing Animal Planet style stuff. But yeah. Let's see. Wait, you can find sea spiders in Wilmington? Ooh, that. Do I sense a collab coming up? I don't know. That's a Wilmington sea spiders? No way. Yeah, Basil, I probably watch the 10 Deadliest Snakes once every 2 years. I just rewatch it. It's like one of my safety movies, like Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, or Star Wars Rogue One, or the entire Star Wars The Clone Wars series. Um one of those kind of things, like a safety show. Oh, 72 Dangerous. I've seen clips of that. I haven't watched it through, but that's pretty good. Mike Bowman, you hopping off? Hope you have a great start to 2024 as well. Have a nice night, man. I like David Attenborough. Like don't get me wrong. Like these are all S tier. We're talking about all S tier stuff here. It's just kind of like S tier is very catch all of like all the really awesome documentaries. Like I'm not saying that David Attenborough isn't S tier because he's very much S tier, but he is. I think I was exposed to him a lot later. That's part of it, and like I kind of really latched onto River Monsters because of that mysterious and like action adventure kind of vibe. Like my early Can I Catch It stuff was kind of modeled after River Monsters. I mean, still some of my stuff today is still modeled after English Spencer. Some of my stuff today is still modeled after River Monsters. So, you know. Oh my gosh. Basil's grandma had a crush on Jeremy Wade. I'm Jeremy Wade. Do I like stick insects? I do. They're actually one of my favorite insects, and I've made 2 videos on them, neither of which YouTube showed to anyone. So those videos still exist on the channel. I'm working on a way to get people to like, or get YouTube to like, stick insects because I would love to film them again. I love phasmids. Are here's kind of here's this very simple hierarchy of Spencer's interests. Is it a bug? Yes. Is it camouflaged? Yes. Then I like it. Basically, the 3 things that I like are bugs. Well, actually, no. Okay, the 5 things I like: bugs, reptiles, amphibians/aquatics, camouflaged things, and venomous things. If it falls into any of those 5 categories, I probably like it a lot. Yeah. When am I doing the funnel web video? When I can catch one. When I can catch one. Right now, I don't live where I can catch funnel webs, so not right now. But second half of the year, possible. Out of curiosity, who's your favorite Star Wars character overall? That's a hard question. Um, I'm gonna say Clone Trooper fives. My Clash of Clans handle is actually fives for that very reason. Um, Outside of fives, maybe Luthen Rail from Andor. Um, General Grievous. Um, Commander Cody. I'm trying to think of some like some deep cut like obscure Quinlan Voss. Let's see who else can I think of that would be like one of my favorite characters. Oh, Darth Crate. Darth Crate's very good. He's not canon unfortunately, but he's awesome. Asherad Het. Crazy backstory too. Um, yeah, bug. Yeah, it's one of those stink bugs. Like the thing is, like this time of year, they're just like you kind of just have to like just deal with them because they like if you kill them, they're invasive, so they aren't supposed to be here. But you kill them, they smell horrible. So you can't do anything about them because you get rid of them, more come in your room. So it's just kind of like, well, we're roommates now, I guess. Okay, Grievous needs a spinoff. Like Grievous needs like a slasher spinoff. I can almost picture like, have like it doesn't even need to be high budget. Like make it like a lower budget slasher film and just use props, animatronics, speed ramps to make the animatronics look faster, and the only CGI will be lightsabers. It's cheap enough that they could afford to do that, and people would love that. They would. Oh, dude, 2003 Sal Grievous in a slasher film. Like, if Disney was willing to make a rated R movie with Star Wars, that is the one. They would make billions, billions with a B. I would watch it like 30 times. I don't know. Crosshair. I forgot about Crosshair. That's the thing. The universe is so big. I forget characters that are awesome. You know, like Tech. I relate to Tech. He died. Like I relate to Tech. He's a nerd. I'm a nerd. He likes Data. I like Data. Like, huh? Do I like horror movies that involve spiders? No, because they're never realistic. They're never realistic. And I'm just like, I literally can't I can't even find this believable because like the horror movies that really get me are ones that are like psychological thrillers. Anything supernatural, I'm more interested in the lore of the ghost or creepy thing that's killing people. I'm like, what is the lore behind this? This is interesting. I'm not terrified. But like psychological thrillers, the human mind's a very dark place. I know because I've been there. And like those are scary movies. What are your thoughts on chameleons? They are freaking awesome. I have never seen one in the wild. I've tried in Florida. There are a few invasive populations, but they're hard to get. Somebody asked, oh, a Darth Maul slasher would be awesome too. What I want to see, what I want to see about, I want to see a Darth Vader versus a Darth Maul fight. Like, can we get that, please? Like how like you notice in Star Wars Rebels, Crimson Dawn. You don't talk about Crimson Dawn, and Darth Maul is clearly not involved in Crimson Dawn anymore, but he is in Solo. What happened between Solo and Rebels? And can it please be Darth Maul versus Darth Vader? I think that would be awesome. I haven't read the comics, so if that's where I missed it, I missed it. But they need to do it in the screen. It would be amazing. It would do so well. I could also talk for hours about Star Wars, but we're wrapping up here in 13 minutes because I have to go to bed at some point. So, um, Fen Rao. Fen Rao. That's a good one. That's a not a deep cut, but it's a deeper cut than some of the ones we talked about. Does your job feel a bit like Pokemon sometimes? Yes, I've made that comparison a couple of times because like the animals I catch, they have like special abilities like Pokemon do, and I'm out looking for them. Like, gotta catch them all, right? But it is, yeah, not a midnighter. That's why I started the stream at 7 instead of 9, because if I started at 9, I'd know we'd go till like midnight or 1. Um, but yeah, just because I want to do the screens off. Tracy, any reptiles and bugs in Singapore? Huntsman spiders, um, giant katydids, giant centipedes, and I know cobras and some of the tree vipers are there. I don't know a lot about the non-venomous snakes abroad. I learn all of these things when I'm going to places. Right now, like my stuff that I know is places I've been, places I want to go like soon, and places that I'm currently planning to go, like already have plans in the making to go soon. Um, yeah. Cat Sound says, hopefully the rooster will let you sleep. I am a very deep sleeper. Oh, thank you, Ben. Wow. Jeez. Thank you. Um, thank you so much. But yes, to answer your question, or I'm a very deep sleeper. My roommate in college used to play Call of Duty till 3 in the morning, and he was very angry about what happened in Call of Duty. And I slept right through it. Like people would come into our dorm, they would like be knocking on the door, like, dude, shut up. They'd hear him from like downstairs. They'd come up to tell him to shut up. I would be so yeah, a rooster, I'll be asleep. Um Hey, of course, Valiant. Dude, like I like hanging out with you guys. You know, I get to actually interact here. I mean, Discord is kind of like this. We get to actually like talk more, and I'm like not on Discord. I'm kind of like popping on, popping off. Here, I'm like I'm on and just hanging out for a bit, and like yeah, we want to ring in the new year and kind of see how everyone's doing, you know. And yes, Basil, I am committed to the screens off rule. Sometimes I'm a little bit like lazy, like if like Cam and I are FaceTiming, we'll go a little bit late, but like for the most part, like anything like this kind of like work or production related screen stuff is absolutely off after 10. 90% of times. Um, CDs, did you actually drop out of college to catch snakes? No. I quit my job. I was working as a bartender in 2021, and I quit to do YouTube for full time. But then my money ran out, so I had to go back to work, and then I was working from there like year ish, a little less than a year. And then the wolf spider bite video took off, and then I was making enough money per day that I didn't need to work anymore. So it was like from I want to say March of 21 to October 21, somewhere in there. From like March 21 to October 21, I was full time on YouTube. But like, it was basically like I'm just gonna have I had like a runway, like a financial runway. Like if this money runs out and YouTube isn't picking up, I have to just go back to work, and that's fine. And that's kind of how I am now. Like I'm doing a lot better than I was then. But like, if I run out of money, I just go back to work. Like I'd bartend or something. Like I can't see myself working in academia or a typical 9 to 5. So I prefer to work in the creative fields. So yes, to answer your question, Tristan. How did it come up? Really, it starts with just kind of making stuff and having a portfolio somewhere that you can get. Like this channel started as a portfolio. Like I was making it as like a side thing for fun. And people were like, hey, I like your video editing style. Or hey, did you do these graphics yourself? And because of that, people would like pay me to do stuff for them. And then I would have a portfolio of stuff that I'd been paid to do. And then I can use that to get even higher paying jobs. So you kind of just the hardest part is getting your first paid gigs. Once you have a portfolio of paid gigs you've done, then you can actually make more money from future gigs. So that's kind of how the whole like gig work do stuff. Yeah. And yes, Ichthyovener, we're going to do more voice chats on Discord. I got you. What snakes are in Wilmington? In Wilmington, you have lots. Honestly, check Herps of NC. Herps of NC will give you a better answer than I can. Lots of cool stuff there, though. Timber rattlesnakes are there. Pygmy rattlesnakes are there. Cottonmouths are there. Rainbow snakes, I think, are there. Maybe they're hard to find, but I think they're around. Let's see. But no, I didn't drop out of college. Also, Jacob Landsman. I mean, I've slept through a fire alarm once. One time I did. Never again, but I've slept through a fire alarm before. Okay, Prisma. I promise this is the last random suggestion of Aussie animals, but blind snakes, peppermint stick insect, death adder, mountain katydid, and spiny leaf insect win. When a white-tailed spider, 100%. Depending on if I'm in the geographic regions where all those are at, I could try and get them all this year if I go to Australia this year. Otherwise, by the end of the next 5 years, all of those things will be on the channel, but I can't guarantee them all this year. What are your thoughts on finding monitor lizards? Would those make a cool videos? Yeah. I would love to do an analysis on whether or not they're venomous, because it's always a point of contention. Are they venomous? Are they just high bacteria count in their saliva? We don't know. I'd love to do a work on that. You went to my school, Will Ingle. Did you go to science and math, or were you at or was I presenting at your school? Because this was my high school right here. I don't know. Oh, Ligon. Yeah. With Mr. Martinez, Marcus. I still talk to him sometimes. He's working at a bank now. He's doing great. Great guy. Yeah. So this is Will Ingle here. I was actually presenting in his class. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks. Oh, thank you as well for sharing your 2023 with me. And I'm so happy to share the stuff that we got in 2024. Like, we got some crazy stuff coming, and I'm super excited. Let's see. Big fans from Michigan. Thank you so much. Like, let's see. Getting the first one is what I need. Editing and filming is a massive part of being a creator. That's the thing. I've been editing videos since, oh boy, 2012. Filming since 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. I've been making videos for years. This is the first thing that's actually done anything, but I've been making videos for years. When I go to Papua New Guinea, yep. Most places people suggest I would definitely go there, and there's probably stuff I would film. It's just a matter of when. Let's see. But yes, thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate that. Have to head out and start winding down. Me too, very soon, Basil. Hope you have a good night and Happy New Year. I do not edit for him anymore, no, Prisma. I edited for him up until summer of last year, on and off. And even last year, like, it was like not last year, summer of 22, somewhere in there, because he got a new editor. Yeah, because I just didn't have time. But yeah, like, we're still very good friends. We still go out, and now it's nice because, like, now we're like collaborators. We're just like, we don't have to have pressure about the editing. We're just gonna go out and catch bugs and snakes and stuff, and it's awesome. Later, Reptiles rule. The secret channel of Star Wars impressions. No, I didn't have a Star Wars impressions channel. I have done lots of gaming channels. My brother and I did a skit channel. We were trying to be Smosh back in 2012. I have done Lego stop motion. They were Star Wars Lego stop motions, but I haven't. And I think I tried to make a daily vlog at one point. I currently have a second channel that I'm working on building out this year that talks about, like, how to grow on YouTube, like learning the back end science of making a creative career possible through YouTube. That's one of my biggest passions besides wildlife. So, premium Shay, am I going to work with mouse spiders? If I can catch them, I'll work with them. Let's see. Troy McDrains. Hey, I'm glad to have you here, man. Like, if you gotta hop off, I will see all of you on Saturday for the new video, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. It is a very, very fun video with very fun spiders and very fun people. So you'll enjoy it. Later, Tristan. 225. Yeah, dude, get some rest. Get some rest, man. Yeah, I'll send the skit channel to the Discord. I still have I've been trying to find the login for it for years because my brother wants to delete those videos, but I can't log in, so we just have to like keep reporting the videos and hope to take them down. I don't really care. I think they're stupid, but that's it. They're just stupid videos. So, um, it is indeed a fresh start. 2024. Let's do it. Let's see. How often do I do voice chats in the Discord server? Not terribly often, but the Discord server is still developing, so probably more often as it gets more developed. And there's a general voice chat. You guys are welcome to hop in the voice chat whenever you want. You guys want to hang out and chat? Like, absolutely. The creepy crawlies, dude, creepy crawlies. Like, I love. Like, that's the thing is like I know you guys love getting the creepy crawly videos, but I love making the creepy crawly videos. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood? See, I can't speak sometimes, but those ones I can do. I think that was when Ichthyo Venator joined us on one of the voice chats we were doing tongue twisters. I was much less fried then because I hadn't been speaking for 2.5 hours after yelling because we were playing soccer all afternoon. So, but yes, I am going to be hopping off very soon. Thanks again for everyone who stopped by and hung out for a little bit. Some of you guys have been here the whole time, and that's awesome. Thanks for spending your evening with me. And some of you guys, your night, like, is late at night. So, thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. A couple last questions. I'm taking these. What do you do in the field if someone has to take a number 2? Oh, I have some stories about that. One of them will show up in a future video. That was hilarious. Yes, thanks, Travis. Let's definitely chat. I gotta catch up on your videos because I've been busy today, but tomorrow I'll be less busy, and that'll be good. Tracy Pay, go ahead. I'm gonna hang out for just like last questions. But yes, if we have to do number 2 in the field, there are a couple options. Number 1, if we're close to a bathroom, we zip over there as fast as we can. Number 2, pun intended, you got to find a place to go. Thankfully, sometimes we have people who are prepared and have toilet paper for when that unfortunate circumstance does occur. Happy New Year to you as well, Sarah. Thank you again for everything, for support, for super chat, for just being a fun, energetic person in the comments. Like, all of you here when am I going to go to Singapore? So before I finish that thought, not this year, probably. I don't know that I'll have the budget to go to that many places. My Southeast Asia plans are probably for next year. Thailand, Singapore, maybe Borneo. All those things are all in kind of in my head. Just what am I going to target? What do I want to film? What ideas and stories I want to tell? Later, Will. Have a good night, man. But yeah, it's awesome. Thanks again for an awesome 2023, and let's kick off a crazy 2024. And all of you, feel free to pop in the comments on videos. I love chatting. I love catching up. I do read. Sometimes I'm late. Sometimes I'm busy, so I don't get the comments immediately, but I do read every single comment, at least in the first week of a video, unless it just blows up and I get like thousands of comments, and then I do my best. But yeah, see everybody on Saturday. Can't wait to show you what we're starting off the year with. This one is not as cool as some of the future videos for this month, but I think everything is going to be really awesome. I'm working on some really fun stuff. Happy New Year to everyone, and Prisma challenge accepted. All right, I'll see you then. Yes, I do sometimes reply 6 months late because sometimes I just don't see it. I just don't see it until I'm like browsing through old comments. Um, but yeah, happy New Year to everyone, and just thanks for everything because this has been incredible, and can't wait to see you again on Saturday. So, as always, you know the old sign off. Thanks so much for stopping by, but hope to see you next time. And until then, don't forget to get outside and find your own adventure.